What's going on, family? Welcome to the Melchoni Show. We wanted to talk about something today that I recently had a brother and a couple other people reach out to me and said, I'm having conflicts in my marriage, and another person said they were having conflicts in their marriage, their relationship before they were getting married. And he said, do you have any tips? And everything that we try to share with you guys, just remember, we're not perfect. Our marriage isn't perfect. We have problems just like everyone else. We just try to live by certain fundamentals and strategies that allow us to have, as close to perfect as imperfect as we can be as humans. But one of the things that we do, and I could talk about this, she could talk about this for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, we could talk about this for hours, is the importance of appreciation. See, people don't realize, but the number one reason that some people are super happy and other people are crazy depressed is because they lack gratitude in their life.
So recently I told my husband, yes, we're not in the best spot we've ever been, but I am so grateful where our relationship is. Right. I'm so happy with my life right now that I would not trade it for the world. I don't care if we have to go through this over and over again. I would not trade it for the world because I am grateful to have you and be in this with you.
Right.
And that changes everything, just because he was so happy that I said that, because we were better at the beginning. We were probably good money wise, and we had all the a lot of money and all that, but our relationship wasn't there.
Right.
So I appreciate us being where we are now, and we're gonna grow together, and the money aspect and everything else, us starting our business for the first year is not the easiest.
Yeah, because you have financial hardships when you run a business. Sorry for that little delay. I didn't know where my wife was going with that, but that's so just so you know, we aren't perfect. We have
this is not planned out.
She's trying to say something. I'm like, what you mean? What you trying to say? But no, we started a business in January, and literally, nothing is perfect. When you start a business, if anyone knows, you gotta put yourself in debt. You got to, get a loan from banks, and then you got to pay that off. And we're on track. We're doing well, and everything's great. But just to show, hey, even if our finances aren't the best, we can still have a happy marriage.
Right.
Even if there's somebody getting, somebody passes away, or any hardships that you're going through, whether it's a financial hardship or whatever, you can still have a happy marriage. And one of the things that we do on a daily basis, on a regular basis, is we show appreciation towards each other. One thing that we try to do, and like my wife was saying, we'll literally take time out of our day. Not that we're forced to, or we have to, or we need to. We definitely need to. But not that we're being pushed to. Out of nowhere, I'll be working, or my wife will be working, and we'll just send it, ding, I'll get a text, and it's a long message from my wife saying, hey, I just want to let you know I truly appreciate.
And then he has to come and write even longer text.
Right, I gotta
and I'm
top
like,
her
why
off.
do you always beat me?
Right.
I was the one who texted you first, and now he has to have double the amount of the
Double
paragraph.
whammy on the thing.
I'm like, really? Now I have to beat him.
I know. So no, but literally we have battles of who can show more appreciation for each other. like that's how real appreciation is in our marriage.
Yeah.
And so we'll literally take time out of our day. Hey, and it's a given thing. But hey, Ryan, I truly appreciate you going to work and providing for the family and doing your best out there. And I'll literally message my wife, hey baby, I just want to message you and let you know how much I truly love you and how much I appreciate everything you do, for the hours you put in with the business and work, for you cooking and cleaning, for you taking care of this and this and this. And I'll write a long thing, and it's not something that's planned. It just comes out of nowhere. But when you show your spouse that amount of appreciation, they feel that, and they're gonna feel so much more in love with you. When my wife tells me that, I'm like, man, I thought my love was maxed out for this woman.
Yeah.
And then boom, it pushed through the roof, and I can't believe it. But when somebody appreciates you, your relationship just blows up. It expands. It gets to a level that you didn't even know was there. So if you're struggling in your marriage, I can guarantee the number one reason why somebody leaves their spouse or has an affair or goes with somebody else, the number one reason, people say, oh, it's finances. It's not finances. The number one reason somebody leaves their spouse, and I read books on top of books, the number one reason is because of a lack of appreciation and acknowledgement. That's it. If you don't show your spouse how much you appreciate her and acknowledge them for every single thing that they're doing for you, they're gonna fall out of love with you. They'll find somebody else who does appreciate them. They'll find somebody else who does acknowledge them, and they'll go their separate way. So
and it's crazy just because the fact that we show each other appreciation, I think it has grown our relationship into another level. And also, for me, it just brought everything into perspective. What I thought was important or what I thought that I needed in my life, I still love those things, but they're not my number one. It's our relationship. That comes first before anything else to me. That comes first. It used to be other things, but the fact that I appreciate you and you appreciate me, and our relationship, what we have now, nothing can compare to that. And I know it's going to keep growing because of the love that we show each other. I would not trade that for the world. 100%. That's number one to me, no matter what.
And letting your spouse know, hey, Ryan, I understand that, we got some business debt to pay off, which is expected because that's what you do when you run a business. You open up a shop, open up a restaurant. That's something you have to do.
You have employees.
Right. Like you got a lot of things, but it all comes back over time. But even if you're in the worst situation in the world, in whatever aspect, financially, health-wise, whatever it may be, by telling, like she told me, Ryan, even though this isn't perfect, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Tell your spouse that. Hey, even though you haven't, maybe you don't have the best attitude. Maybe this isn't right. Maybe you do this on a regular. Maybe we're not in the best situation we've ever been in our life. Letting your spouse know that even despite these hardships or difficulties or mistakes that they've made, that I wouldn't trade you for the world. I wouldn't back out of my decision. If I had the chance to flip back in time and choose whether or not I wanted to marry you, I wouldn't change a thing. Do you know how much love they're gonna have for you? I love my wife more than anything in the world, but one of the things that she does, and one of the reasons why I love her so much, is because of that deep appreciation. And it's not a one-time, hey baby, I love you. Like, great, anybody can tell your woman that they love them. Anybody can tell me that. But the number one thing that somebody else can't do is show them how much they appreciate them and acknowledge them all day long. Because you're acknowledging that. Like we mentioned in another video, we got to get back. But one thing that we used to do, and we have to get back to doing, is before we go to bed, we tell each other everything that we did that we appreciated throughout the day.
Or at least 3 things.
3 things.
That pointed out that I appreciate it. Even though I do it every day, I appreciate. Babe, you would tell me, babe, I appreciate that you cooked today.
Right.
I appreciate that you did laundry.
Right.
I appreciate that you cleaned. It's things that I do every day, and I don't mind doing it
on a regular
basis.
basis.
But we do it every day, and that just makes us grow even more.
Even more. Well, we coming up on a close. Listen, guys, we love you. Show appreciation, and remember, you don't need a reason to be happy.